In 2004, most Americans had never heard of him. 4 years later, he was the most powerful man on earth. No wealthy political dynasty, no famous last name, no decades inside Washington power circles. How did a skinny kid with a funny name defeat Clinton, outmaneuver the Republican establishment, and become president of the United States? This is the story of how the ultimate political underdog pulled off one of the greatest campaigns in modern history. Obama's story didn't start where you think. He wasn't born into power or fame. Before the crowds chanting, "Yes, we can," he was born in Hawaii to a Kenyan father and American mother, and his childhood stretched from Honolulu to Indonesia. As he grew up predominantly searching for identity, not dreaming of the Oval Office, and that search would shape everything that came next. After graduating from Columbia University and later Harvard Law School, where he became the first black president of the Harvard Law Review, Obama could have taken a high-paying corporate job. Instead, he moved to Chicago, where he became a community organizer in struggling neighborhoods on the South Side. And he learned something crucial: how ordinary people think, struggle, and mobilize. In 1996, he ran for the Illinois State Senate, and he won. Now, let's be honest, Illinois state legislature isn't exactly national fame, but it was his laboratory. He built relationships across party lines and worked on ethics reform, mainly healthcare and criminal justice. He learned to be strategic, not loud, not flashy. But when he tried to jump to the big leagues in 2000, running for Congress, he lost badly. And even if that defeat could have ended his story, it actually sharpened him. 4 years later, he would get the moment that changed everything.
I owe a debt to all of those who came before me, and that in no other country on earth is my story even possible. When we send our young men and women into harm's way, we have a solemn obligation not to fudge the numbers or shade the truth about why they are going, to care for their families while they're gone, to tend to the soldiers upon their return, and to never, ever go to war without enough troops to win the war, secure the peace, and earn the respect of the world. Well, I say to them tonight, there is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America. There is not a black America and a white America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America.
In 2004, a Senate candidate from Illinois was invited to give a keynote speech at the Democratic National Convention. Most Americans had never seen him, but by the end of that night, they would never forget him. He spoke about hope and unity, about there not being a black America and a white America, but the United States of America. Overnight, Barack Obama became a national figure. That speech launched his US Senate run, and he won in a landslide. Now, he was no longer a local politician. He was on the national stage, but what happened next was even more improbable. In 2007, he decided to run for president against a political giant.
That is why, in the shadow of the old state capitol, where Lincoln once called on a house divided to stand together, where common hopes and common dreams still live, I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America.
When Obama announced his presidential campaign in 2007, most experts laughed. The Democratic Party already had its chosen candidate, Hillary Clinton. She had the name recognition, the donors, the party machinery, and the legacy. For Obama, he had momentum and a message, hope and change. He framed himself as the future, and something that made that campaign revolutionary was that he weaponized the internet. Small dollar donations, grassroots organizing, and massive youth turnout. His campaign didn't rely on big political gatekeepers. It relied on millions of ordinary people giving $5, $20, $50 at a time. And slowly, state by state, primary by primary, he started winning. Iowa, momentum.
CNN is now ready to project that Senator Barack Obama will win the Iowa Democratic caucuses.
South Carolina, proof. The race dragged on for months, and in June 2008, a historic milestone occurred.
CNN can now project that Senator Barack Obama has enough delegates to secure the Democratic presidential nomination. Senator Barack Obama goes over the threshold.
Senator Barack Obama is, as of this hour, the presumptive Democratic nominee for President of the United States. As the polls close in South Dakota, NBC News projecting Obama has cleared the plateau.
Barack Obama secured the Democratic nomination. He had shocked the critics and defeated the Clinton machine. But the final battle was ahead. Obama's Republican opponent was war hero and longtime Senator John McCain, experienced, respected, and tested. At first, it looked competitive. Then, September 2008 happened. The US financial system began collapsing. Banks failed. Markets crashed. Inflation rose. Americans panicked. The country was facing the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. Suddenly, this wasn't just about inspiration, it was about stability. Obama positioned himself as calm, measured, and forward-looking. And soon enough, the contrast became clear. Change versus continuation. One more factor mattered deeply too. The Bush administration was very unpopular at this point. From 9/11 to the Iraq War, and now the economic crisis. Obama became the vessel for national frustration and national hope. November 4th, 2008. Voter turnout surged. Young voters, black voters, first-time voters. When the results came in, the map told the story. Obama won states Democrats hadn't won in years. And when the final call came, history was made. Barack Obama became the first black president of the United States.
It is now 11 o'clock on the East Coast, and Keith, we can report history.
Barack Obama is projected to be the next president of the United States of America. NBC News calling for the Democratic candidate. The states of California, 55 electoral votes. Washington, 11 electoral votes. Oregon, 7 electoral votes. And Hawaii, 4 electoral votes.
We have breaking news, momentous news, really. CBS now estimates because of victories in California, Washington, Oregon, and Hawaii. CBS projects that Senator Barack Obama of Illinois will be the next president of the United States. He defeats John McCain, the senator from Arizona and Vietnam War hero. And no matter whom you voted for, you'd have to agree this is an incredible milestone in the history of this country. A century and a half after the Constitution abolished slavery and guaranteed blacks the right to vote, 4 decades after the passage of the Civil Rights Act, voters have chosen our first African American president.
But that headline doesn't fully capture what happened. This wasn't just a racial milestone. It was proof that a relatively unknown state senator, just 4 years removed from obscurity, could build a movement powerful enough to take down political royalty and win the White House.